Let's get your power back in the world of manifestation because you might have been giving it away by accident to things that aren't actually that important in the long run. Today, I'm going to shed some light on what those things are and remind you to come back to yourself in the end. Hey there, my name is Jen. I'm a coach and creator of The Aligned Life, and I'd love to welcome you back today to Aligned TV. We need to have a serious conversation today because I see this so often. Look, I have been in the manifestation world for a whole 10 years now. I have been writing about spirituality and how to create the life that you want for such a long time. And I know that some of these topics are so popular with you guys, but I just want to caution you against getting too involved with them. So I'm going to give you some things to watch out for here, but first I just want to remind you the most powerful manifestation tool you will ever have is yourself. It's your mindset, it's your belief. As the saying goes, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. I want you to get involved in creating beliefs that support what you want, because otherwise you are just setting yourself up for extra pain and extra hurt on the way to creating what you want, and extra manifestation blocks that get in the way of manifesting the life you desire. This stuff alone, like the stuff on the inside, can change the game so powerfully. I know you know this. I know you know that self-belief, self-concept, working on raising your self-worth, you know that these are the tools that actually move the needle, that actually create a difference in the long run. And yet I still see so many people going to these other things that are completely outside of them because they want reassurance or just because they're used to looking for something outside of them to give them permission to believe in themselves. So today I want to talk about a few of those things. Not that I'm telling you you have to stop believing in them forever, but I just want you to start to get a grip. And just remember, again, the most important piece of the puzzle is this: the power was yours. It was always yours. So the more time you spend on working on this, working on your blocks, working on your emotional healing issues, working on your shadow work, that is what is really going to help you change. It's not this other stuff, which we will get into right now. So the number one place where I see people giving their power away is in the world of angel numbers. Look, I'm a girl who loves an angel number. Like, I love to look for those repeating numbers. I've gotten in the habit of it and I see them all the time. But I also know that people can take this stuff a little bit too far. So I like to think of angel numbers as being just a little hey there from the universe. And I know if you see 1111 like 4 times in one day, you start to feel like you're going a little bit crazy or like there has to be more to this. When you first start to notice repeating numbers or angel numbers, it just seems like there is so much more to being human and to this world that we live in than what meets the eye. So that is really what I like to use them to remind me of. That there is a divine power, there is a universal power, and that there are interesting synchronicities and little divine winks coming through. That's what I like to think of angel numbers as being, as a divine wink, as the universe winking at you to let you know that it is still there, that it's got your back, that you are on the right path. So when it comes to manifesting though, I see so many people get into this very superstitious way of looking at them. Like, we need to look at the clock today at 11:11 or I'm going to have a bad day. We need to have this certain angel number come up so I know that the person that I like is going to like me back. We need to have this thing happen or see this number or whatever in order to create the life that you want. And I just want to assure you that that is not the way it works. Once again, I think this is something fun you can play with. It's like a little way that we can communicate with the universe. It's like, I see you, I see you, I see you. But when you are starting to read too much into it, like,
I can't have a good day because I missed seeing the clock at 11:11 this morning, or I did not get the number 444 today, which means I'm not going to make any money.
that is when you start to get yourself into trouble. So I really need you to get out of those lines of thinking and just come back to what's real and true, which again is the stuff in here. If you start to get overly superstitious about it, then you just need to go cold turkey. Stop looking for those numbers, thinking about them. Definitely stop setting your alarm on your phone for 11:11 or whatever else it is that you are doing. If you notice them, let it happen organically. Be thankful and notice them, but just do not get carried away. Do not let that number predict whether or not you are going to have a good day or whether or not you're going to manifest something, because I'm telling you, there are so many more important things for you to think about. Number two, listening to psychics or getting tarot card readings all the time. Look, girl, I have been there. I see this happening so much, especially when it comes to romantic relationships, which, let's face it, that is the reason why a lot of us get into the world of magic and manifestation in the first place. We either get dumped by somebody and go on a spiritual journey, or we really like somebody and we are trying to cast a spell on them or trying to manifest them. So this is a super common thing. But what I see happening a lot when it comes to tarot readings, psychic readings in general, is that you are breaking up with somebody and you maybe didn't want to break up with that person and you're really wanting to get back with that person. So I see people going back to tarot card readers over and over again, or going to different psychics over and over again. Basically, what they're really looking for is for that psychic or that tarot card reader to tell them what they want to hear. Like, you are looking for that one that is going to tell you,
oh yes, that is the person, that is your person. You're gonna be with them forever. The cards are telling me so. You know, your ancestors are telling me so.
you are basically looking for reassurance from somebody outside of you to believe in something, and probably to believe in something that maybe is not actually there or was never there to begin with. And this is just another place where I see people just giving their power away instead of doing the work on healing and on figuring out what is the real problem here. Many times it's because we came from an environment as children where we had a dysfunctional family. We had to learn how to pretend that our parent loved us, so we tend to see that love in people that aren't actually giving it to us. Perhaps you have limerence, maybe you're ADHD or autistic, and you have extreme fantasies about these people. There are many reasons why you might be overly emotionally attached to a certain person if you have been with them or not been with them. But this pattern of going back to a psychic or a tarot card reader over and over and over again, because secretly you're wanting them to tell you something, that is really just a red flag that it is time to come back in here and figure out what this is. What is in here that we need to work on? We need to work on accepting ourselves, loving ourselves, letting our ego be bruised for a while. That really sucks. And a lot of times when you were breaking up with somebody and you got dumped, that's really what it is. Your ego is bruised and it wants to get that person back so you don't have to feel bruised anymore. But that doesn't mean that that person is the person that you're supposed to be with. And that is where we get things a little bit twisted. Over reliance on psychics or tarot card readers is just a sign that you have lost trust within yourself. So I really want you to work on that relationship first before you go to the outer sources. I don't mean you never use a psychic or never use a tarot card reader. It can, of course, be fun. It can, of course, be really enlightening. I know people that have had amazing experiences with them. But this pattern, when you are specifically going back, asking the same question over and over, or maybe you're just reading your own tarot cards, like, can also work like that. But you are always looking for an answer and it is not what's coming through. Like, that is a sign you are just giving all that power away, babe. And it is time to get it back. Number three, we're going to talk about the TikTok tarot card readers or your daily horoscopes. You guys, I have tarot cards. I read tarot cards. I'm not telling you not to be into this stuff, but there is a whole industry of TikTok tarot card readers that are like,
If you are watching this video, you are meant to see this message.
and you guys are all falling for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Do I mean that these messages are never going to actually resonate? No, they might have meaning, but I would really put very little faith in these readers who are just giving blanket messages to people and they're delivering them in a very dramatic way and they are doing it every day or even multiple times a day. This is not really where you want to be getting guidance from. If you want to watch one or two here and there, go for it. But I can see, like, algorithm, just if I watch one, it starts to feed me more and feed me more and feed me more. And I know it's doing the same thing for you. It's just really important not to get stuck in that loop because, again, you're starting to let somebody else dictate how your day is going to go. The same thing goes for astrology. And I mean, whether you want to read your daily horoscope on an app or if you are watching a particular astrologer on TikTok or whatever, doing this too much is giving your power away. If you are reading this every day and today is saying, oh, today is going to be stressful, and it doesn't say anything specific about money or love, so like none of those things are going to happen to me. No, we need to pull back. We need to get our power back. The one thing I will say about astrology is that we tend to look at the daily horoscope for your sun sign. If you've gotten into the world of astrology, you should know that your energy, your astrological chart is so much more complicated than that. So if you are just reading that for the day, you are getting one tiny little aspect of a whole entire complex chart, and it's not really going to give you that much information. Again, if you come to into this with a playful attitude or you're just checking in, that's great. But I do know that people can get into this belief that your horoscope has to tell you something, or if it doesn't say certain things, things aren't going to happen, or you just get into that desire to learn more and more and more and more and more. You could get really into looking at your whole entire chart change every single day. But what are you really getting out of that? If you took all of that time and energy and put it into self-healing work, or working on improving a skill for your career, or if you put it into working on your relationship skills or something else, I guarantee that you would have better results. Horoscopes are great, but they're not the only thing that's important. What is in here is just so important. The things that you pay attention to expand. If you're just looking at your own chart all day, what are you really learning? I'm not hating on astrologers. I like astrology. I think it can be very useful to look at your birth chart and have an overall understanding of all the different elements that are affecting you. But I find a problem with it when you are just going deeper and deeper, or you're spending like an hour a day reading horoscopes about yourself. This is just self-indulgent, and there are other things in the world that you can put your very real time and attention on that will probably yield you better results. One more thing, that is channeling. Channeling is something that is becoming more trendy. I see more spiritual teachers talk about channeling or do some sort of channeling in their work. So right off the top, it's not that I'm telling you channeling is wrong or that you can't do it, but a lot of the stuff can have grifter energy, meaning people are setting you up to have a relationship with them specifically, because if you get into one person's channeling, of course, you have to go back to that person over and over and over again to get the message from that specific channel. So this is a way that a lot of people can create an addiction between the viewer and the provider. The other thing I want to say about channeling is that literally everyone has the ability to channel. So if you were into this idea of channeling, I would suggest learning how to do this for yourself. Learn how to channel yourself. Learn how to take that knowledge from your inner wisdom, from your higher self, and learn how to tap into that. I think the fact that so many of us are looking for these other people to give us that information just shows us how we are afraid to tap into that in ourselves. We are afraid to be our own authority. We are afraid to listen to our own psychic wisdom. We would much rather listen to the wisdom coming from someone else than listen to ourselves. And that is the thing that I have a major problem with. I want you to come back to your power. If you are into channeling, or if you are following a particular channeler, I'm not necessarily telling you that you need to stop, but I do want you to realize that you have this power within you. If you want to get into channeling, I would way more recommend that you learn how to do it yourself rather than getting sucked up into one other person's energy over the long term. And these people are literally feeding off of people in the world who are afraid to do that, who are afraid to trust themselves, who are afraid to tap into their own wisdom. I want you to learn how to do that. I want you to learn how to be your own source, be your own guru, be your own authority in life. I hope I have given you something important to think about. At the end of it all, the most powerful spiritual tool is you. Just really want you to remember that as you scroll through TikTok, as you encounter new teachers in the world. Not everyone is out there to scam you, but I do want to direct you back to your own power over and over again, because that is what you're meant to do. You are meant to stand in your power. You are not meant to chase the little things, and you're not meant to spend hours a day looking at your horoscope. You are meant to be in your power. So whatever you can do to come back to your power, that is what I'm encouraging you to do today. So that is it for today's video. I really hope that I gave you some food for thought in terms of coming back to your power and not giving your power away, and not giving into superstition when it comes to spirituality and manifestation. If you like this video, please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, give me a 5-star rating if you are on Spotify, and I'll see you back here in next week's video. Until then, happy manifesting.